This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. A devastating morning. I'm Rebecca Vargas.
And I'm Don Brennan. Wendy Ross will join us shortly. But first, we're going to head to Dallas because things have gotten out of hand there. Topping our news this morning, a developing story there where snipers killed 5 police officers and injured several others during protests overnight.
Yeah, it's pretty horrifying to see this happening. I mean, first with the two men, one in Minnesota and the other, and now seeing our own law enforcement also. It's just devastating. ABC's Stephanie Ramos is now joining us with the details.
A barrage of gunshots erupting through downtown Dallas, causing panic and chaos across the city. Police trying to clear the area.
We had people jumping over the fences. Cops start telling everyone to go back.
Cops rushing in to help fellow officers gunned down by flying bullets.
This is a hot zone.
Police say at least 2 snipers positioned themselves in elevated areas during protests against police brutality, ambushing 11 police officers. At least 5 of those officers were killed.
Some shot in the back. We believe that these suspects were positioning themselves in a way to triangulate on these officers from 2 different perches in garages in the downtown area.
The shooters planned, police say, to injure and kill as many law enforcement officers as they could.
We'll ask for your prayers for these families, and we ask that you give our officers strength to catch these suspects.
A massive manhunt underway. Police surrounding this parking garage and exchanging gunfire as they negotiate with a suspect who says bombs have been placed all over downtown Dallas. The city's mayor calling the events heartbreaking. This all comes on the heels of incidents in Louisiana and Minnesota where black men were shot and killed by police officers.
Thank you, Stephanie. Just shocking. And this is all breaking right now overnight. Just, an hour ago we found out it was 5. So we will continue to bring you those developments as they come.
And of course, more and more information is going to be streaming on in for us as well. And we're looking at some rough weather down around the Charlotte County area. Early this morning, we had some thunderstorms that produced as much as 4 inches of rainfall. Unbelievable, isn't it? And now those showers have moved out into the Gulf of Mexico. So we are left with mostly soggy, miserable weather for those of us who don't like this kind of weather. We do have temperatures in the 80s right now, 92% humidity. Winds are calm at this hour. And as you can see around the region, we've got temperatures in the 70s and 80s. So nothing has changed overall. We just had that one flare-up of showers and thunderstorms around Charlotte County earlier. And now that rain has moved off into the Gulf of Mexico, but you could see that flare-up, just there it is. And down around Charlotte County and southward is where the areas that were affected. No one else has been, but again, almost 4 inches of rainfall has fallen in parts of Charlotte County east of I-75. We're going to be seeing the possibility of some rain showers developing later on this afternoon with a 20% chance of rain starting at noontime.
Thank you, Wendy. And now taking a look at Suncoast roadways. Right now, for the most part, everything seems to be moving along nicely. In Bradenton, 75, 301, and 41 are moving along. But as you move down towards Sarasota, there was an accident there on 41, or near 41, right there, just south of the Bayshore Gardens area. It's at General Spatz Boulevard westbound, and it is blocked at 41, so be aware of that. And as you head down through the rest of Sarasota County, everything is moving along at this point in time.
Here on the Suncoast, about 40 people gathered at Fred Atkins Park in North Sarasota to protest the recent officer-involved shootings last night.
Tensions are unbelievably high right now, and ABC 7's Bo Beth Yates has more on the local reaction.
Sadness, anger, and shock are among the emotions the community says they feel. And as they rally behind me calling for justice, many say the problem is much deeper.
When you see these type of shootings, it's always an African-American male. I can't recall the last time I've seen, a police officer, shoot a white suspect.
Wayne Jenkins is calling attention to what many in the black community perceive as a systemic problem impacting African Americans all across the country.
It's grave concern. I have concern about that, not only for myself, but even for, friends, family, my kids. Are they going to be afforded that opportunity if they're ever in that situation to at least explain what's going on before, someone rushes to a quick judgment.
Jenkins believes for many African Americans, a law enforcement officer is not perceived as someone who helps, but instead someone who could possibly kill you. And during most of their interactions with law enforcement, that fear is in the back of their minds.
When you're traveling on the road and you observe a police officer and they pull behind you, there's that natural, fear or nerves that get riled as to why I'm being followed, if you're being followed, what's the reason. And if it goes so far as a traffic stop.
In the case of the Minnesota shooting, Philando Castile was allegedly stopped for a broken tag light, and he ended up dead.
Black people are not allowed to make the same mistakes that white people are without fear of being unjustly treated or being executed in the street by police without the due process that we all deserve as Americans.
Activist Shakira Rifos says part of the problem is the misconceptions many have about African Americans, that just because of the color of their skin, they are a threat.
Dehumanization of Black people and Black bodies is nothing new in our society. It's kind of partially what this country is partially built on. I think the police are able to deal with diffusing situations a lot easier when they're looking at a white person than they are looking at a Black person.
In the meantime, Jenkins says his fears are even more evident after the latest shootings.
Am I next, or is it someone I know next? Or, that's an everyday thought process. That's an everyday fear.
We did reach out to local law enforcement, but none of them were willing to comment on this topic. Bobeth Yates, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
And the Bradenton Police Department is working with Tampa area police departments on a new initiative called Consent Florida. 1 in every 6 women reportedly have experienced sexual assaults. Meanwhile, only 6 out of every 1,000 perpetrators spends a single day behind bars. Now law enforcement is trying to change those statistics. The campaign is all about educating the public about what consent means, both legally and ethically. Consent Florida has 2 main branches. One focuses on public outreach, educating students in high school and college about sexual assaults. The other includes training officers in how to handle victims of assaults.
If they come to us, that we will have an ear, we will listen, and we will understand. That's part of the training that we're looking at. Training that helps our officers understand that after somebody has been victimized, it's not that easy to talk about.
Chief Melanie Bevin says the next step will be raising the money to fund training for officers as well as community outreach programs. And Goodwill Minnesota has received a grant for the second year in a row, to provide services to homeless veterans. The funds from the U.S. Department of Labor will help Goodwill find stable employment for more than 100 homeless veterans. That's just one part of Goodwill's Veterans Services Program, which also provides emergency resources to vets and serves their families. Since this program launched in 2013, it has served more than 1,200 veterans, and Goodwill has partnered with other Suncoast organizations to help the veterans in the best way possible.
The man whom deputies say set a domesticated rabbit on fire in Northport is now in custody. 22-year-old Manasseh Walker was located in Punta Gorda yesterday afternoon and was booked at the Charlotte County Jail. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office says witnesses told authorities that Walker was bitten by the rabbit named Thumper on June 12th. They reported seeing him chase the rabbit while it was on fire a few moments later. Thumper is still recovering from severe burns on its ears and also tissue damage and is being cared for at the Wildlife Center in Venice. And it's been a busy summer for the new EMS unit in Parrish. The Medical Services Ambulance Station has only been in service for about 2 months, but according to the department's representative, the unit has been responding to around 100 calls a month. The community loves the added service, especially the large geographic area that it covers, which includes Parrish, Duet, and other surrounding areas. The unit was put in place as an effort to reduce long response times in that area.
Further south to Sarasota, many businesses on St. Armand's Circle continue to do very well, but for others, that's not the case. Tube Dude has joined a few other businesses in deciding to leave St. Armand's Circle. Owner Scott Gerber has previously expressed frustrations with plans for paid parking on the Circle and says he believes his business would do better at another location. On the other hand, some businesses are happy right where they are.
We feel that the people that are coming to St. Armand's are a different crowd than what they used to be when we first moved here. And I think that St. Armand's is becoming more of a destination to come eat.
It's just a special place, and a lot of us have been out here for a long time, so it's kind of a family of businesses. And it's just really nice to, come into an area where everybody knows each other.
TubeDo's new location on Main Street will open next month. Meanwhile, a proposed ordinance for the city of Venice could increase the rent for businesses using sidewalk space. Several restaurants along Venice Avenue currently place multiple tables on the sidewalks to accommodate diners. The annual payment of $25 could be going to $50 or more in order to do that. Another potential change is how wide the sidewalks must be to accommodate the Americans with Disabilities Act. The issue is expected to go before City Council members again prior to their summer break next month.
Beachgoers on Cortez Beach will have to get used to a skyline filled with cranes and construction along the beach, and not the birds, the cranes, but the actual cranes. Construction on the 3 groin replacements on the beach has been delayed several times, causing the completion date to be extended and pushed back. And the Manatee County Parks and Natural Resources Director told the Bradenton Herald work is now expected to be completed by the fall. The construction was supposed to be finished by the 4th of July holiday, but unstable surfaces and severe weather caused problems in setting foundations for the footing for the groins. Once the project is completed, it will help keep more sand in place on the actual beach. We're not even halfway through the sea turtle nesting season, and already it's a record breaker. Mote Marine Lab is reporting that as of early July, there are more than 2,600 confirmed nests throughout 35 miles of beaches from Longboat Key south to Venice. Now, this already surpasses the record from last year by 163 nests, and we're only 2 months into the season. The first nest to hatch on the Suncoast was found in Venice last week.
They're so cute.
I know, they are kind of cute.
I love them. I love finding the nests too on the beach. I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. I don't touch them. I'm just excited for the little guys to hatch.
All right, I don't want to be talking about you on the news being led away or anything.
I won't do it.
In school news, Southeast High School racks up yet another national championship.
I'm just so impressed by the students on the Suncoast. For 6 of the last 7 years, Southeast High School's media team has taken home the top prize in the Skills USA Broadcast News Division under the direction of instructor Mike Sanders. Skills USA is the largest career and technical student organization in the country. Many of these students going through the program are trained by upperclassmen, and they say there's no feeling like winning a championship medal.
So incredible. There's just looking out and seeing people cheering for you. It's like nothing else in the world.
So as a freshman, the sophomore team trains us, and as a sophomore, the junior team trains us, and we train the freshman team. And it kind of goes on like that. So the information gets passed down through students.
All 4 team members are recent graduates and may pursue journalism in college. Of course, we love that because that's exactly what we get to do every day. And
they're competition.
They're amazing already.
That. I don't love that because they're going to try to take my job.
Don's
you know,
worried
I'm not getting
already.
any younger. People pushing me aside. We got younger, newer, fresher talent.
Oh no.
No.
Maybe we love you, Don.
Maybe you
You're
want to think
sticking around.
about business and, you know, marketing.
But you
He's
have
already
experience, Don.
Yes.
You have
That's
experience.
right.
Yes.
But so are they, obviously, at a young
counts.
age. They're getting really great experience at Southeast High
But
School.
Mr. Sanders, that studio is amazing. It was world class. It's better than a lot of TV stations in the country.
Really?
And he does such a great job. When I was doing Football Friday Night, he was a big help. All the students
You went
and
and checked
Mr.
out this
Sanders. Yeah, oh yeah. They have all their they have actual press conferences. Oh, they don't
And
mess
they
around
start
up
them
there.
young, and they're
That
good.
is so great.
You're
That is
too
so
young.
great.
Making Dad worried.
I'm old.
It's the bright spot on the horizon. Isn't that nice to know? It's just lovely to know that there are people out there that are doing some good things outside. We are looking at a couple of rain showers located offshore. You can see the lightning strikes out there, and we'll be back with a look at your forecast in just a minute.
Also coming up, Tampa Bay is chosen as one of only a handful of airports that will offer direct flights to Cuba. We'll tell you all about that next.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, it's all about getting more for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. Stop by to see our new state-of-the-art showroom today, and you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet, a new 2016 Subaru Forester, for just $229 a month. Complimentary maintenance included at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Batteries Plus bulbs keep stacks of batteries for cars, cell phones, watches, plus light bulbs for lamps, can lights, and appliances right on hand. Did I mention we also repair smartphones? Batteries Plus bulbs. Trust the plus. Visit Batteries Plus bulbs today.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Since 1928, Karastan has been setting the standard in carpets and rugs, producing non-allergenic wools that won't promote the growth of bacteria or dust mites like other carpets will. Karastan wools actively remove contaminants from the indoor air, making your home healthier. And there are many colors and patterns and textures to choose from. Come see for yourself.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Well, it is very still. Once again, we have calm winds out there, and when you have the calm winds and the warm temperatures, it just feels warmer than it really is, and our humidity is now at 82%. It's 81 degrees right now. We have fair skies over most of our area and partly cloudy skies a little bit farther to the south, where we did have some rain showers that moved through. Around the state of Florida, of course, we're looking at temperatures in the 70s and 80s, and so we're reflecting the same thing as the state is. But take a look once again, it's very warm on Anna Maria and Longboat Key. Last night I was on Siesta Key, and I will say it's very comfortable when you get to the beaches during the nighttime hours. You get a nice little sea breeze coming on through, and so things do get comfortable. But we've got temperatures in the 70s east of I-75 right now, and right along the coastline our temperatures are staying in the 80s. Well, this is what I'm talking about with those showers that came through. They erupted overnight across parts of Charlotte County. Look at this, almost 4 inches of rainfall, 1.5, almost 3 inches of rainfall. So this was all part of the system that has now moved out into the Gulf of Mexico. The rest of us coming in with almost 0 to 0.4. Isn't that just awful? So we haven't seen a whole lot in the way of rainfall, and as you can see around the state there's not much going on. Here's that flare-up of showers moving out into the Gulf. You can see it right there, and a close-up look is showing you that we had some very strong isolated storms embedded in this band as it moved on out towards the west, and now we're starting to pick up some lighter rains down around Charlotte County right now, but that one big force of storms has now moved out into the Gulf, and you can see some of the lightning strikes associated with it as you look towards the west. High pressure still on top of us, no changes here, so as a result we're going to continue to see this very dry condition staying around with some isolated showers only. Highs will be in the low to mid 90s once again today, and it's going to feel as though it's 104 degrees. And what we're going to be seeing is the same patterns developing for tomorrow once more. We've got today and tomorrow with those isolated showers mostly inland taking place, and then we start the process all over again for Saturday. So this is going to be going through the weekend, where we're going to just see some minimal showers developing, and this is pretty true around the country. We've got a couple of showers across the Great Lakes area, most of the Midwest reporting some scattered rains as well, the northwestern part of the country seeing some showers moving on in, and otherwise across the southeast things are quiet. We're not looking at any severe weather developing. We've got slight chances for thunderstorms developing across parts of the Ohio Valley, the Northeast, and also the midsections of the nation. And otherwise, the scattered thunderstorms that we might see are going to be very widely scattered across the state of Florida. And around the nation, it's, well, moderate temperatures really in the 60s at this hour, and we're even looking at a 55-degree reading in Minot, North Dakota. As you can see, all across the southeast, temperatures are pretty much what we're experiencing. And if you're heading out to the beach today, this morning, those winds will be coming in out of the south and then shifting around towards the west. Seas 1 to 2 feet with a light chop. The temperature at the water is going to be 89 degrees. The Gulf water temperature has not cooled down. It's 90 degrees. So we're still looking at those hot temperatures there. Readings will be mostly in the 80s this morning, 80 to 89 degrees by noontime. Isolated showers during the afternoon hours with a high of 93 degrees. We continue those temperatures in the 90s, low 90s for the rest of the forecast period.
Thank you, Wendy. Taking a look at traffic right now at 520, it looks like out of Manatee County, we're not seeing any major issues. The Palmetto bridges are clear at this point, and so is the interstate. 41, 301, same story into Sarasota. Other than that, we do have an accident popping up, though, we need to make you aware of. On General Spatz Boulevard westbound, a lane is blocked right at 41. Not too much of a slowdown because of that, but be aware of that accident. The rest of our Sarasota roadways look great. So do the arteries out to 75, 41, and the interstate clear into Venice and South County. Well, Wendy just said it, and you can feel it. It's steaming hot outside. So when you're looking for some fun this weekend, we've got some great air-conditioned events for you to take part in.
ABC 7's Linda Carson has some suggestions. I'm not sure on the air conditioning or the heat or where to go when this happens, but she has the Suncoast scene.
If you had enough, don't put up with this stuff.
Chantel Norman and Kat Hefner joined together for a show called Queen of Disco, Queen of Soul.
The show is a tribute to Donna Summer and Aretha Franklin, and it's basically to be an inspirational time that they have given to the world with their music. I will be portraying Donna.
Chantel Norman portrays Aretha Franklin, and Chantel and Kat also sing together.
We are doing a couple duets together, No More Tears, or Enough is Enough, and State of Independence.
They say the show will have you on your feet dancing.
It's benefiting the Queen of the Keys Award, which is something that my mother and I created to mentor students studying music and performing arts.
Are you fascinated by snakes, lizards, turtles? Then you are going to love the Repticon show coming to Sarasota this weekend. Suncoast breeder Melissa Hernandez will have her geckos there.
At my booth, I will also have live moss, sphagnum moss, and I believe that they have anything from snakes to large lizards, turtles, frogs.
She says they're very friendly and make great pets.
The character and the personality for each one is completely different, and they are very rewarding.
You can meet Macho Man and all of his friends Saturday at the Repta Day Show. It's at the Potter Building at the Sarasota County Fairgrounds from 10 to 5. You just won't believe some of the creatures who are going to be there. And the second annual Lionfish Derby is coming to Moat Marine. On Saturday, dive teams will go down after lionfish, competing for $35,000 in prize money. Lionfish have become a big threat to Suncoast fisheries.
They're consuming a lot of our native species on the reef, juveniles, that aren't able to grow past that stage because they're consumed, and so they can't repopulate populations that we put a lot of effort into managing and conserving.
The Lionfish Derby will conclude on Sunday here at Moat Marine from noon to 3. Come on out and find out more about lionfish and see what they taste like. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Linda. Yeah, that lionfish actually is pretty good. I tried it out once. Have you?
They're a very invasive species, and we should eat more of them to get rid of them so they don't eat our fish.
That's right.
Yes, and Linda has a birthday coming up Monday.
Oh, we gotta think of something fun for her.
I'm gonna send her on a trip, maybe.
We'll still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
If you eat at Wendy's, we'll send her to Wendy's. You may want to check your credit card statement or bank account. We'll tell you why coming up.
Batteries Plus bulbs keep stacks of batteries for cars, cell phones, watches, plus light bulbs for lamps, can lights, and appliances right on hand. Did I mention we also repair smartphones? Batteries Plus bulbs. Trust the plus. Visit Batteries Plus bulbs today.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom. the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
Call right now to get your free Senior Care Compass ebook. Find out about the 5 best-kept secrets on financing senior care and assisted living.
Call now, 800-290-0352. 800-290-0352.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little Sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Welcome back. It is 5:26 and topping this morning's business headlines. Fast food customers hit by a cyber attack, plus an uneasy morning ahead for Wall Street.
When are we going to get a cyber attack where they return money to your account?
I don't think anything like that's ever going
to be nice. Just give. ABC's Kenneth Gibson and Diane Macedo give us some details from New York.
Morning, topping America's Money, a new snapshot of the nation's economic health. Wall Street traders are looking to this morning's June jobs report as a signal of the economy's growth.
Today's report comes after 2 sharp slowdowns in hiring during April and May. Wendy's is warning customers about a security breach at more than 1,000 locations.
The fast food chain says hackers got away with cardholder names, credit or debit card numbers, and expiration dates, among other information. The malware has since been disabled. And air travel is helping normalize U.S. relations with Cuba. The government has tentatively approved the first scheduled flights to Havana in more than 50 years.
Starting as early as this fall, 8 U.S. airlines are expected to fly from 10 American cities, including Miami, New York, and L.A.
Get packing.
And that's America's Money.
Listerine kills 99% of bad breath germs. This is 100% useful for a 100% fresh mouth. What's it like to not feel 100% fresh? We don't know. We swish Listerine, as do Listerine users. The very people we studied in The Study of Bull. People who are statistically more likely to stand up to a bully, do a yoga handstand, and be in a magician's act. Listerine kills 99% of bad breath germs so you can feel 100% in life. Bring out the bull.
There are a lot of ways to pack your breakfast with protein, but the most delicious way is to just add milk. Nature Valley cereals. At least 10 grams of protein with milk and a touch of sweetness to power you through your day.
Ugh, heartburn.
Sorry, ma'am, no burning here. Try new Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Gummies. They work fast and don't taste chalky.
Incredible. Looks tasty. You don't have heartburn.
New Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Gummies. Enjoy the relief.
Well, hurricane season is here, and we'll make sure you're prepared. Watch our hurricane special on our ABC7 app and all our live streaming platforms.
Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku.
Looks like we're getting another new neighbor.
Now you could be the millionaire next door. Play Monopoly Florida Edition scratch-off games with a top prize of $5 million. The Florida Lottery. Just imagine.
Attention. This is an important message for anyone who had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to their heart or lungs. Did your IVC filter move, break, or cause organ damage? The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, even death. If you or a loved one suffered serious complications, call IVC Filter Helpline now. you may be entitled to compensation. IVC filters are designed to prevent blood clots. If your IVC filter moved or broke and you suffered heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, or if a loved one died as a result, call IVC Filter Helpline today. Our network of experienced attorneys is ready to fight for you. You'll pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call today for a free confidential consultation. Don't fight this alone. Call IVC Filter Helpline now.
Please call 800-897-6764. That is 800-897-6764.
Discover the biggest savings of the year on some of America's favorite vehicles during the Drive and Discover event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Get America's best value, a new Grand Caravan for just $18,999 or a new Dodge Journey for just $16,999. Stop by today to shop the area's biggest selection of Ram trucks and save up to $8,000 on your new Ram. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
They took that stress and that tension when I was particularly feeling very bad after that nasty car accident, and it was such a relief to know that I didn't have to bear that burden alone, that I had help.
Our goal is to not just get a satisfactory settlement on their case. We want them up on their feet, happy again. They've gotten their life back.
Batteries Plus bulbs keep stacks of batteries for cars, cell phones, watches, plus light bulbs for lamps, can lights, and appliances right on hand. Did I mention we also repair smartphones? Batteries Plus bulbs. Trust the plus. Visit Batteries Plus bulbs today.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, the latest on the sniper attack in Dallas that left 5 officers dead and several injured during a night of protest.
That's why the House is approving a measure to keep women from being required to register for the military draft.
And it could soon be possible to get to Cuba from Tampa Bay as more flights are added to Tampa International.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back and happy Friday. I'm Rebecca Vargas. We talked about
And I'm Don Brennan, along with Wendy Ross, who's in for John Scalzi for one final day, and John's in for Bob Harrigan. And yeah, everybody's trying to get to Cuba now with all the opening, and Tampa going to have flights to go there. And I mean, obviously Tampa and Miami with the huge Cuban populations and enclaves, so I'm sure it's going to open some doors.
Oh my God! I would love to go just to see what it's like.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's changed too because it's so historical still right now.
Yes, and it's going to change rapidly. You just know. You just know it's going to change very quickly. Yeah, so it would be fun to just sort of step back into time. I understand that it's a place that time has forgotten.
Yes, exactly.
So
That's
it has frozen in time, or maybe that's the best way to put it. But we are looking at some showers that have developed down to the south. And these rains came through with really quite a vengeance throughout the morning hours and overnight time periods. You can see those showers just flaring up, and they've moved out into the Gulf of Mexico right now. And for the most part, we're left with some lighter rains in its wake, and they're affecting the southern sections of Charlotte County. The rest of us reporting cloudy to partly cloudy skies right now. And you can see the lightning strike still out in the Gulf of Mexico. That's been taking place as those storms have moved on. As the morning wears on, we're going to continue to see our temperature staying in the 80s. By noontime, we get up to a high of 91 degrees, 20% chance of showers. So the isolated showers are still in the forecast for today. We're expecting a high of 93.
Thank you, Wendy. Taking a look at the roadways where everything is moving along right now. The bridges, the Green DeSoto bridges to and from Palmetto are moving along, as are State Road 64 and State Road 70. As you head out to 75, everything is looking good there. And as you head down into Sarasota County, there is one hitch in our giddy up this morning. That's just an accident on General Spatz Way and 41. It's westbound General Spatz Boulevard, and the lane is blocked, but doesn't seem to be causing any issues or backups right now. But as traffic picks up, it might. We will let you know. Down in Sarasota County, all the way into Northport and Charlotte County, everything is looking good.
Topping our news this half hour, we continue to follow the situation in Dallas, where 5 police officers have been killed and several injured by snipers during a protest overnight.
The gunshots erupted through downtown Dallas, causing panic and chaos across the city. Police worked to clear the area while rushing in to help their fellow officers that were gunned down. They say at least 2 snipers positioned themselves in elevated areas during those protests against police brutality.
Some shot in the back. We believe that these suspects were positioning themselves in a way to triangulate on these officers from 2 different perches in garages in the downtown area.
This all comes on the heels of incidents in Louisiana and Minnesota where black men were shot and killed by police officers. According to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund, this is the deadliest day for law enforcement since the 9/11 attacks.
The investigation into Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server isn't over just yet. The State Department is now reopening its internal investigation. The State Department suspended its review in April to avoid interfering with the FBI's inquiry. Spokesman John Kirby says the email probe is restarting now that the Justice Department isn't pursuing a criminal prosecution. It will be looking into possible mishandling of classified information by the former Secretary of State and her top aides. Kirby says former officials can still face administrative sanctions. Meanwhile, FBI Director James Comey is defending his decision to not recommend charges against Clinton.
And so when I look at the facts we gathered here, as I said, I see evidence of great carelessness, but I do not see evidence that is sufficient to establish that Secretary Clinton or those with whom she was corresponding both talked about classified information on email and knew when they did it, they were doing something that was against the law.
Attorney General Loretta Lynch accepted the FBI's recommendation of no charges. Meanwhile, the House is passing a measure seeking to keep women from being required to register for the military draft. The House voted 217 to 203 yesterday to approve an amendment blocking the selective service system from using any money to change draft registration requirements. Those in support of the amendment say more time and consideration is needed before women are forced to register. The Senate's annual defense policy bill includes a draft registration requirements for women, and that measure calls for women to sign up with the selective service beginning in January of 2018. Wow. Times are changing.
Yes, they are, and they're changing as far as flying to Cuba as well. Flying direct to Cuba from Tampa Bay, it may soon be a reality.
Yeah, ABC 7's Ray Collins has all the details.
Would you go?
Yes, I would.
Tom Kilgallen of Paris is excited to hear direct flights may soon start from Tampa to Havana as early as this fall.
Just someplace I put on my bucket list.
The last time U.S. passengers could fly to Cuba was 50 years ago. But despite this progress, Kilgallen doesn't want to go anytime soon.
I think before we start going down there, I think they got to work on the infrastructure.
And he's not the only one with those concerns.
Is there taxi cab services and ground transportation and restaurants and shopping?
SRQ Airport Director Rick Piccolo says going to Cuba might sound exotic, but it might not be a plush experience, at least not yet.
Over time, do I think it'll work its way up? Yes, because there'll be investment if the relationship becomes truly normal.
And despite the possibility of direct flights, they're still restricted to certain passengers and certain purposes.
There's 12 categories that are allowed to fly, educational purposes, relatives, that type of thing. It's a more narrow scope than normal flying, so we'll see.
The federal government might eventually loosen those restrictions so anybody can fly down to Cuba. And when they do, Tom Kilgallen might eventually cross Cuba off his bucket list. Always been curious?
Oh, yeah. And you see the pictures of Cuba, the way the country has never evolved from the 1950s and 60s with all those old cars down there.
So if all goes as planned, starting this fall, 8 U.S. airlines will fly direct to Havana from 12 U.S. cities, including Tampa, Orlando, Miami, and Fort Lauderdale. In the newsroom, Ray Collins, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
And there are new benefits for people with disabilities in Florida, as many Floridians can now enroll in tax-free savings and investment accounts, and the money they put in savings won't affect their government benefits. Qualified disabled residents will be allowed to save up to $14,000 a year under Florida's Achieving a Better Life Experience Act, or You know, before the ABLE Act, people could only have about $2,000 worth of assets to remain qualified for safety net programs. State Representative Ray Rodriguez says those conditions have forced many people to adjust to living while barely making ends meet.
We've given an opportunity now for these individuals to do their best. They're no longer going to be faced with the choice of, if I seek independence and I fail, I will lose the safety net. In our speaking program,
Around 8 of 10 disabled residents do not participate in the workforce. And Florida Power and Light customers could see some savings in their utility bills next year. The Florida Public Service Commission is approving a request by FP&L to drop a controversial nuclear power bill charge for the coming year. The decision will save customers about $22 million. The average FP&L customer will see a decrease of 34 cents on their monthly bill. The charge may be reinstated in 2018 if regulators approve it.
You could be saving even more on your utility bill with this tip. It's one of the basic rules of laundry. We've been told the hotter the water, the cleaner the clothes. Well, historically, detergents needed the hotter water to be more effective. Now, however, detergents actually work better in cold water. Consumer Reports say that the cold cycle is more effective at cleaning your clothes and removing the stains. And if the water hits higher than 75 degrees, the detergents become less effective and the heat may help stains dig deeper into your clothes. You should still use hot water if your clothes need to be sanitized, though, and clearly the cold water saves on your utility bill. And another household chore is about to get a little easier. Beginning Monday, Manatee County will begin delivering new 64-gallon rollable recycling bins. It's part of the county's new single-stream recycling program. And these new bins will take away the need to sort and separate recyclables. That makes it nice. And the county is hoping the new bins will encourage more people to recycle. The old bins will be collected and recycled if residents choose not to keep them. See, making it easy for them, so hopefully.
And then you could just roll it right out. Usually they come in the big rollers, you know, as opposed to little bins you got to carry out, and you got to put the paper here and the cardboard boxes there and cans and bottles. Yeah, it's crazy.
This is great. Well, we're now just hours away from the next Mega Millions drawing, and there's now more money up for grabs in the jackpot, and I'm still not doing it.
Man, that clock, why not?
I did it last time and nothing happened, so you know what?
Well, you got to be in it to win it.
True.
It's always next time. There's always tomorrow, young lady. The jackpot's now $540 million. It's over $500 million. You won't take a chance for that, Rebecca?
Nope.
Come on. Lottery officials say ticket sales have exceeded expectations. Since the jackpot went up, of course, when it gets big, everybody is looking at it, wants to win it. Tonight's drawing will be the 35th since Mega Millions had a winner, which is the longest rollover stretch in the game's history. I never even heard of the game before this week. Now you can watch the drawing live at 11 right here on ABC7. So tune in and win.
Nice.
Possibly.
I'm not going to do it, but there's a potential. There's a possibility for someone.
Yeah, I will guarantee you, if you don't buy a ticket, you won't win. See, I'm good like that.
I'm okay with that.
Meanwhile, Braden River High School students they're winning. They're breaking records of their own. They're back home after competing at the technology-based TSA National Conference in Nashville.
Oh, I am impressed with these students. More than 30 of them have broken a record for the number of trophies and medals they received during a competition involving 8,000 students nationwide. Braden River's Technology Student Association competed in categories that range from robotics to fashion design and website design, manufacturing, prototyping, and biotechnology design. But these intelligent and creative students are giving credit to their school and advisor, Gil Berlew, for helping them reach their goals.
The last 5 out of 6 years, Braden River High School has finished first place in the state, breaking record after record every single year on the number of awards given to one school.
Overall, my entire career, I won first place in agriculture and biotechnology, future technology teacher, and career preparation. So it's a first place trophy is not easy to come by, I'll just say that.
The Braden River TSA students are already looking ahead. It can take them the whole year to develop their project for next year's conference and competition. So they're already starting now. They just got back on Sunday, and that was Molly's son. Molly has won first place overall, just as an individual. Every year of her career. She just graduated. I felt like I needed to go back to school.
Did you? I know. Did you see the size of the trophies? I think you should get a trophy just for pronouncing all the things that they won.
Size.
Prototyping, robotics, all just the biotechnology, nanotechnology.
They created a 24-hour biocapsule medicine that will just continue to work in your body, like on time release. So you don't have to worry about it. You just take this capsule. They created a robotic arm. They were working with hangers, prosthetics here in town.
This is what we need the Southeast journalist students to go into biotechnology. Forget the journalism.
They need to broadcast what they're doing. There you go. We all need to go back to school, clearly.
But they all are clearly
light years ahead of us.
full of energy and happiness. That was the issue. Yeah, it was just wonderful.
Well, you hear so many stories about bad kids. It's great to hear stories about great kids who are just really involved. Yeah, isn't that great? They give us all hope. We can travel, hopefully, with kids like that. Well, we're going to have the forecast when we come back, right after the break.
And it's a fever that is sweeping across the nation, the one we just told you about, Mega Millions. More on that coming up.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, it's all about getting more for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. Stop by to see our new state-of-the-art showroom today, and you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet, a new 2016 Subaru Forester, for just $229 a month, complimentary maintenance included, at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Pomero Shop Furniture. After 66 years in Sarasota, we're still the leader in hard-to-find and custom-made furniture. We have literally thousands of fabrics and patterns to choose from, and our free in-home design consultation will help you create rooms in your home specific to your unique style. Our inventory changes daily, so come in today to see what's new. Plus, anything in our showroom can be part of your home the very next day. Pomero Shop Furniture, now with 3 locations.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
We are looking at our temperatures right now around the state in the 60s or so. Oh, that's wishful thinking, let me tell you. 70s and 80s over the panhandle of Florida. And then, of course, we've got 70s and 80s elsewhere around the state. Right here across our viewing area, we're looking at pretty much the same thing, although it is a little bit warmer in Anna Maria and Longboat Key, 84 and 85 degrees here. This is what it feels like, though, and isn't this a little different than what the actual temperatures are? At the airport, it's 87 feels like temperature right now, and later on today, it's going to feel as though it's 104. So you get that heat, that humidity, the dew points all up there, and that's what it feels like as you head out the door. And especially during the morning hours when we have calm winds, it feels a little bit warmer as well. Overnight, we had some very strong showers and thunderstorms that moved through Charlotte County, producing as much as, or almost as much as, 4 inches of rain across the eastern sections of I-75 in Charlotte County. Those showers have since moved out into the Gulf of Mexico, and they continue to move away, but we've had other showers forming down to the south, and you can see these are now beginning to die out as well, and they're also affecting more of Lee County than they are Charlotte County, but we're going to continue to watch these as they move out into the Gulf. And right now the rest of us are reporting fair skies to partly cloudy skies with those showers moving away. High pressure continues to sit on top of us. So we've been talking about this for days. I feel as though I could be on tape all week. You wouldn't have noticed any difference as far as our forecast is concerned. And what we are looking at are isolated showers developing throughout the afternoon hours once again, and mostly east of I-75 is where we will experience those. Temperature highs back up into the low to mid 90s once again today, a little bit warmer over the interior part of the state than it will be be at the coastline, and it's going to feel as though it's 104 degrees today. If you love this hot weather, this week has been for you, truly. It's just been very, very warm throughout this past couple of weeks with that high pressure system sitting on top of us. And we're going to see those rain showers popping up east of I-75 once again later on this afternoon. And we'll see a wide stretch of no rain, and then we'll get the rains back in the forecast once again. But we keep those rain chances low. Only a 20% chance is expected for our area. Across the country, we've got some rain showers across the northwest and also the Great Lakes area, the Ohio Valley. The good news is there's nothing severe going on today. We don't have to worry about severe rain chances taking place. Thunderstorms have a slight chance of developing across the Ohio Valley region and across our area. We could get that stray thunderstorm that comes on through. Temperatures across the nation right now are still quite warm all across the southeast. So if you're doing any traveling throughout the day today, just keep in mind that the good news is we're not looking at a whole bunch of rain taking place, and we're also expecting to see those temperatures staying fairly uniform across the southeast. The Gulf water temperature is 90 degrees, and over the next several days we're going to be looking at our temperatures staying in the 90s all the way through the weekend with less chances of rain as we are experiencing today. Rebecca?
Thank you, Wendy. Taking a look at your commute right now as we come up on 551. Looks like out of Palmetto, Ellington, normal volume just starting to pick up, but no major slowdowns, no accidents to report on the interstate. The bridges are on 41 or 301 in Manatee County, but we are seeing that one hot spot as you go from Manatee on 41 into Sarasota on General Spatz Boulevard westbound. There is a lane blocked at 41 due to that accident, so just be aware of that. Other than that, our roadways look great in Sarasota, that is. The interstate is clear, so is 41 into Venice and Northport at this point. Well, it's a dilemma most new parents are familiar with, trying to get an infant to sleep through the night without crying, but are left wondering if they should let a baby cry it out or go get them. And this is great because Wendy's daughter, Tracy, just had a baby, so hopefully she's listening to these new tips.
You gotta let them cry it out, and then they get used to it, and they don't expect you to come pick them up all the time, and then they sleep through the night.
So hard. I can't imagine.
Yes, but there are different theories. Pediatricians say the most success comes somewhere in the middle through a method called graduated extinction. Researchers found that babies who were put to bed using the gradual extinction method, where bedtime is moved later to get the baby to fall asleep sooner and parents wait to respond to their cries, actually fell asleep quicker than those using other methods. Children will compress their sleep time within the first 6 months, so it's better to establish a sleep routine sooner rather than later.
You want to start sleep training no later than 6 months, which means establishing a routine, really making sure that they're in the rhythm of understanding, oh, we're going to calm down, have a soothing environment, and okay, now it's time for me to go to sleep.
The most important thing parents can do in sleep training is to find a method and stick with it. Too many changes will ultimately make it more difficult to get a full night's rest for the baby and for yourselves.
I think I'm preparing myself even now because of our lack of sleep on this morning show. I'm like, oh, I could do it. Getting up in the middle.
It's nothing. You get 2 hours sleep, the baby cries, you go feed him, you get back to sleep for 2 hours. Come on, it's a piece of cake.
I know.
I mean, I never woke up, but.
Well, we may never have to wake up, and we can sleep in whenever you want if you win the lottery. And that's what we're talking about next. When a lottery jackpot starts to climb, so does excitement surrounding a big win. But only if you play, because I'm not playing.
Yeah, then you hire a doctor to put the baby to sleep and do all those methods. Now, psychologists say our brains aren't wired to think about probability. We understand the chances of winning aren't very good for the lotto, but we can delude ourselves into thinking we have a decent chance, and that excites us for a little while. Fantasizing about winning and what you'd spend the money on releases hormones and neurotransmitters that they're studying at Braden River High School, I'm sure, in our bodies that can actually make us feel better physically. For most, playing the lottery is pretty harmless, but it is low-level gambling.
If you have the kind of personality where you realize that you can get carried away with that stuff, stay away from it, keep the money in your pocket, and in some cases, you know, take the temptation out of your hands. Give the money to your spouse. Keep the credit cards locked up. Don't go where you don't want to go.
If you do buy a ticket or two, psychologists say it's okay to have fun with it, but it's also important to keep expectations realistic. You got to keep it in perspective. I mean, honestly, most of the time when I do buy a lotto ticket or get a quick pick, like spend a couple bucks, I forget to even look at the ticket.
And then you forget about it, yeah. See, what he was talking about, I felt like he was talking about me, like you fantasize about what could happen. I'm whimsical. That's my personality.
Whimsical.
I'm whimsical,
nice word.
and I like to fantasize about all these possibilities. So I just need to stay away. Lock up the credit cards. Stay away.
No, just take a chance. Hey, $1, wait, $1 to buy a quick pick or play your numbers. Come on.
Play your numbers tonight. You don't want to miss it. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
At 6:30, ABC brings you news from around the world, and now ABC 7 brings you more in-depth coverage of the stories making news on the Suncoast. Join your Suncoast news team for the all-new ABC 7 News 7.
Just because someone grows older, does that mean they have to grow apart from their friends or from the things they love to do? With Right at Home, it doesn't. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to help with personal care, housekeeping, meals, and most of all, staying engaged in life.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you ready to go?
Oh, I sure am.
We can provide the right care right at home.
Discover the biggest savings of the year on some of America's favorite vehicles during the Drive and Discover event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Get Four-Wheeler Magazine's 4x4 of the decade, a new Jeep Wrangler as low as $25,999, or drive away in a new Jeep Cherokee for just $19,999. Get a new 2016 Jeep Patriot for just $14,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Pomero Shop Furniture. After 66 years in Sarasota, we're still the leader in hard-to-find and custom-made furniture. We have literally thousands of fabrics and patterns to choose from, and our free in-home design consultation will help you create rooms in your home specific to your unique style. Our inventory changes daily, so come in today to see what's new. Plus, anything in our showroom can be part of your home the very next day. Pomero Shop Furniture, now with 3 locations.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
Well, weddings usually involve fancy gifts for the newlyweds that they're never going to use, but it wasn't kitchen appliances and home decor that filled the Michigan couple's gift table. Instead, it was filled with markers, colored pencils, notebooks, backpacks, crayons, and other school supplies. The newlyweds asked their guests to bring school supplies instead of traditional wedding gifts. They planned to donate them to an elementary school. Guests told the couple that the gifts were the most meaningful that they ever bought for a wedding. More than $600 in gift cards and thousands of dollars in supplies were given to the couple.
That's so incredible. I've had friends before that have decided to take that aspect of it, the gift-giving aspect. I want to do it for a charity.
I never liked people like that.
Why?
Because it's a time for yourself, man. I don't want gifts. I want like big things and expensive things that I'm going to put away and never use and never open. A nice vase, a nice crystal vase that I'll never have any use for.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just kidding. It's good that they're doing it.
Or a frame, like how many
They're
frames do you
do-gooders.
get?
They make us all feel bad. That's why I don't like it.
We should all be more like that. Well, it's 5:58. We'll be right back.